All right, here we go. Now we are learning a portion of the Torah, Parshas Tzav. And this is a new experimental video. This is the first time we're recording live in Parshas Tzav and also recording. So something good came out of this whole Corona panic. Parshas Tzav. The parsha that we're learning this week, the Torah reading, is Parshat Tzav. Tzav b'nei Yisrael. Tzav means command. And it begins, interestingly enough, with a sentence, not it begins, but it's right in the very beginning. Aish Tomid tukar al mizbeach lo tichbe. A constant fire must be burning on the altar. It should not be put out. All right, at first glance, you can just look at this. It seems to be, the last two words are extra. A constant fire should be burning on the altar. Right? In the Holy Temple, there was an altar on the outside. And it should be burning all the time. That's all. What does it have to say? Lo tichbe, it should not be put out. So let's have a look. Ne'amar b'Yerushalmi, it says in the Talmud Yerushalmi, Tomid, it should be burning all the time. Afilu b'Shabbat, Tomid, all the time, even betuma. Even on Shabbat, this fire should be burning. And even on, if there's defilement. Even if there is defilement. Let's see what this means, defilement. We'll see. Kafi shehuz b'pamim rabos, like we spoke many times. Kayemet kol inyanim ba'avoda shel mishkan b'mikdash gashmi, that everything that was in the holy temple and in the one second, let me turn on the lighting. Here we go, a little lighting. That was in the holy temple and that was in the tabernacle, which was just how do you say, the primal state, the premier of the holy temple. This is what they took it in the desert. Gam b'mikdash ruchni, that is not only found in the physical tabernacle and the physical, but it's also found in the spiritual one. Haruchni animsa b'tok kol echad v'Yisrael. And where is the spiritual temple found? Where is it found? It's found inside of every Jew. So I'm just adjusting this here. There we go. See me? Can you see me? Too low? There we go. Good. Inside of every Jew. Every Jew is a holy temple. Hamizbeach hu libo shel adam. What is this altar? That there has to be a fire going on it all the time. This fire, it was burning on an altar. What is that inside of us? It's our heart. Emotions. Just like in the holy temple or in the tabernacle, which was before it, there was what was called an inner altar and an outer altar. The inner altar was inside. There were basically three areas in the temple. There was what was called the yard, chatzer. Then there was the holy, and then there was the Holy of Holies. In the Holy of Holies, there was the ark with the tablets in it. In the holy, there was, in the middle, was a golden altar, and there was also the candelabra, the menorah, and there was also what's called the face bread. It was on the other side. That was in the holy place. Then there was the outside, which is called the chatzer. Over there, the main thing there was the altar. That's where they slaughtered the animals, but there was also the altar was there. And this was called the external altar. The inner one made of gold, that was the altar they sacrificed on it incense. They burned incense. And the outer altar, that's when they burned up the sacrifices, animal sacrifices. That was the outer. These are two levels of your heart. Your heart relating to God. A person is supposed to be emotional. God is very valuable. It's tremendously real, tremendously good. A person that feels God, that your creator is creating us. You feel this, you're supposed to. Do we feel it? We're supposed to. That's why it's not easy. It's called, in the temple, they did what's called avodat Hashem. They did service of God. You can't really serve God unless there's a holy temple. And really serve God unless there's a holy temple. You can pray, you can do it, but all the commandments you can't do until there's the temple. It says, this outer altar is the outside of your heart. Mizbeach HaPenimi, the inner altar, where the golden one, where they sacrificed, where they burnt the incense, this was called the inside of the heart. Hamizbeach shelagabav bo tzivui, the altar where we have the commandment of burning, the constant fire. This was talking about on the external altar. Spiritually, what does this mean in our heart? There has to be a revealed excitement. In the outer part of our heart, halev chayim likod et elokut. Likud elokut. It is a living fire of godliness. Let's just take it in physical. What does it mean, the out part of our heart and the inside of our heart? Not talking about God, just regular. You have an outside of your heart and the inside of your heart, right? Take a simple example. There's a person has a business. He goes to the business every day, and he drives. He has to drive an hour there, drives an hour back, and he makes preparations for the business. He has to, let's say he has a grocery store, so he has all the products are brought, and he has to take the inventory, right? But inside of his heart, that's the outside of his heart. He goes every day. He's very conscientious. That's the outside of it. He takes care of the customers. That's the outside of his heart. What's the inside of his heart? Let's just say this person, the inside of his heart is, he wants the money. He wants to make money. Someone comes along and says, listen, how much do you make out of your grocery store? I don't know. I make $500,000 a year. Says, I'll give you for the grocery store $20 million a year. $20 million a year. Here, take $100 million now. That's for 5 years. And I'm signing a contract every year. The person will say, I'll take it. What's the question? Well, one second. But all this running that he did, and it said that was only the outside of my heart. The inside, I wanted the money. That's what I wanted, the money. But the outside of his heart was involved. But the inside was more important. The inside was, now what has he got? He's got the money. Now that all of a sudden, that could also be the external of his heart, right? Someone comes and they say to him, listen, we have a chance your son can get an education. How much is the education? The best teachers in the world. How much will it cost? It'll cost $50 million. Take all the money. Take it all. I thought you wanted the money. That's why you sold the store. I sold the store for the sake of my family. That's why I did it, for the family. And so it is. There's deeper, more meaningful things inside of a person that he connects to, what's really real to him. Says the Rebbe, the most real thing to a Jew should be God. Why? Because God is really good. God cares about your children. He cares about your life more than you can possibly care about them. That's why there's all the laws of the Torah, how to deal with your children, how to this. No matter what you want to do, you have to do what God says. You have to love your family. God says you have to do it. So your love should really be to the creator of the universe. That's the ultimate reality. He's pretty good. He's creating all of us. So he says that's the outer altar should be a revealed fire. Tochen HaShabbasu, it says this fire should burn even on Shabbat and even in defilement. What is Shabbat? Shavita, hinazrut vehitalut min olam. Shabbat is the time when we elevate ourselves from the world. Elevate ourselves from the world. We're not dealing with the world. Lefichach asurus behem malacha. That on Shabbat you don't do work. Most of the works you don't do in the world. It's God's world. On Shabbat, in a revealed way, it's God's world. Let God do all the work. God will do all the work. He's doing everything anyway, the whole rest of the week. Just the whole rest of the week, he wants you to be his partner. And to this day on Shabbat, we want you to know who your partner is. Right? The rest of the week, God is sort of the silent partner. On Shabbat, you're the silent partner. You realize who your partner really is. That's on Shabbat, you elevate yourself from the world. Mi bechinat avoda hanafshit shaladam. A person in his soul. What does it mean? Shabbat hasaga klita ionit v'karata l'shabbat onig. In your soul, what does it mean on Shabbat? What does it mean for your soul? So that you get pleasure from the Creator. The world, the creation, is not as important to you as the Creator. That's Shabbat. Machmatit galuta or bahasagato areo menora minuzar. Therefore, a person on Shabbat removes himself from the world. Now, a person might think that like this, I'm so removed from the world. Adam because he's so occupied on Shabbat, a religious Jew, and he's thinking about God. He just read a book of Kabbalah, a book of Chassidut, and he's thinking about God and how good God is and how God creates me on these different levels. God creates the spiritual levels, and he's thinking about these spiritual worlds that there are, and they're just creations of God. This is all leading him up to God. Oh, you might think, he's occupied in intellect. What's he got to get excited about? He doesn't have to have fire. Right? He doesn't have to be fire excited. He's thinking about God deeply. Is it? Mishum kach, therefore it says lo tichbe. That's why it says that this fire that's on the outer part of your heart should not go out even on Shabbat. Even on Shabbat. No matter how spiritual you become, no matter how austere you become and removed from the world and pure, you have nothing to do with the world. Keep excited. Don't get cold. Also, the same way it says this fire should burn constantly, even on Shabbat, even when you're elevated from the world. Also, the same thing is it says the fire should not go out even in impurity. A person that he is far away from godliness, it says that this person, it says to him, the fire shouldn't go out, even in Tuma. Even if, no matter how defiled you are, keep the fire burning. What does it mean? Al tasim lev lamatzavcha. Don't take it to heart your situation. Lo tichbe. A person can say, come on, right? I know I go on the streets a lot of times. Before there was this corona panic, just the thing was getting out of hand totally. I used to go on the streets and put tefillin on people. A lot of times people would come and they'd say, come, my friend, you put on tefillin. I said, no, you know what type of sins I did. You know who I am. You know, I just finished doing 5 minutes ago. You know where I'm going to go. What do you say to a person like that? You say, listen, forget about what there was. Forget about what there will, what there's going to be. Right now, you're here. You have an arm. I have tefillin. You're Jewish. Put on the tefillin right now. Nah, I can't. I'm so defiled. Listen, you defiled. You're this. That was in the past. You got to keep the fire burning. You're a Jew. Get excited about Judaism. That fire will burn up all the bad things. Da'ag, you might think, I can't burn a fire for a fire, Judaism. My friends will laugh at me. It says, no, Aish Tomid, lo tichbe. The fire should burn constantly. It shouldn't go out. Do whatever you can. That the fire, excitement, the happiness of being a Jew should always burn up inside of you. Don't let the past put it out. Don't let your worries about the future put it out. Right now, think, who are you right now? You're here. You got a fire inside. Burn it up. Let it go. Let it raise up. Davar zeh yavi lekach shelo tichbe. It won't go out. Kaperish Magid and Mezrach, like the Magid and Mezrach said, call in a low. It says it should not go out. There's another way of saying the Magid and Mezrach said, no, it means all the low, all the negative things. Lo tichbe, it should put them out. All the negative fires that you have, the bad fires, tichbe. If you have a fire of godliness, of Judaism burning inside of you, you're excited, then all of the low, all the bad things, the bad memories, the bad thoughts, the bad deeds, the bad actions that you did, it'll burn them all up. It'll be a beautiful, new, exciting future with Mashiach now.